Alright, time for another video. In this video, I suppose I'm going to be talking about some procedures and processes of this here society. Because there's a funny thing that happens in this society over here. And it's something that's a real... It fills me with ire every time I see it. And the makers of the society are very consistent with it. They're very consistent with it. And what is that? Well, there is a process and procedure in this society where the greatest of the previous generations must be denigrated in order for, well, future generations to flourish, as it were, in order for them to be recognized as having progressed, whatever it is the endeavor is. And you see this most clearly, I suppose, in the NBA, but really it's happening everywhere. Right? It's happening in your football, it's happening in your Formula One, it's happening in your NFL. I suppose it's happening in your rugby. Although the rugby somewhat divorces itself from it. Because the rugby is too organic to actually get bit by these processes and procedures of the society. So this thing happens in the NBA, this thing happens in the F1. And the NBA situation is particularly amusing to me because, well, you've got the mainstream media, quite frankly, attempting to sell LeBron James as the greatest of all time basketball player, and it's not landing. It's not landing. There's young'uns, I suppose, who never got to see Jordan play, and well, they'll just believe whatever it is the media tells them, and the media is now airing a lie, just a straight up lie that Jordan was playing against plumbers and postmen and what have you, which I just that was the craziest. When I seen that clip, and I saw that clip sometime last year, but when I saw that clip, god damn, my head almost exploded. I couldn't believe it. This is the same bullshit they were saying about Bill Russell. Now they're trying to say it about the Michael Jordan, which is just insane. Which is just categorically insane. I mean, the game is fully professionalized at that point. Yes, there's problems in the NBA still. Problems in the NBA today. Problems in the NBA today with LeBalco James and all of that. But anyway, let me not get into the PEDs and other vagaries of the NBA. This is about what the media does, how the media treats these people. And the media are the programmers of the society. So, well, they always denigrate the old gen because the new gen has to forward the illusion of progress. All right, the human animal is the same thing that it's been since we emerged on this here planet. We could go with the evolutionary narrative, we could go with the biblical history, as it were. We could go with any of these things. The human animal is the same thing. All right. What do I mean by that? Well, we're not necessarily getting faster. We're not necessarily getting strong. Well, actually, we're probably getting weaker. Little known detail, probably getting weaker. Currently, society is definitely getting dumber. You can check that with the IQ charts. I suppose this whole COVID lockdown situation really fucked up the whole educational system for a good 2 years. There's some kids who were in a really sensitive part of their education, and well, they've lost years, right? There's teachers who are making videos about the grade 7 learners having the reading ability of grade 4 learners and what have you. So there's a whole raft of problems there. There's a whole raft of problems there. So, well, that's for another day, I suppose. But they have to forward the illusion of progress because the human animal is the same, is still run by the same animal urges that will put us at the top of the food chain. We are still run by those, whether people like it or not. And so, how is it that, well, the records are going down? How is it that Usain Bolt has broken the 10-second barrier and all of that? These things are happening because the technology is getting better. The tech is getting better. Mind you, there's nothing new under the sun. The elites, as it were, with their clandestine operations, they just release technology here and there when it's expedient to do so. They had virtual reality way back in the 60s. Right, way back in the 60s. They just released it now. Now people on their Oculus Rift and their PSVR 2, second generation, doing their thing. Oh man, but this stuff was all here before. This stuff was all here before. They could have sold this stuff way earlier. Mind you, there were some early quote unquote VR headsets. I forget which was it by Sega or what have you. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. Doesn't really matter. They just released what the Mandem had 50 years ago. Right? All the technology that you see around you, all the technology that's newly released in particular, right? This tech has existed for minimum 50 years. Minimum. It could have existed for longer. And there'll be various people this way, allegedly at least. Let me drop my allegedly in here. The whole video is alleged, and I don't want to get myself in trouble. God damn. But yeah, all the tech that you see around you, it's been here already. It's been here for a long time already, longer than is stated in the declassifieds when they do get declassified. Right? What is it? When the Freedom of Information Act finally fucking ticks over on various classified documents, in them documents you will probably find various pieces of tech that have existed for, well, a lot longer than they've been available to the public. And that's just the way it goes. They release the technology when when the society needs to experience progression. That's when the new tech gets released. All right? I'm gonna go watch Fixed One's video after this because he done a thing with The Matrix, right? But The Matrix is a documentary. And there's another video I gotta watch that actually states The Matrix is a documentary. But well, The Matrix, let me call it correctly. This is a whistleblower project. This is a whistleblower project, The Matrix. And well, here in the society, we are all in the Matrix. All right? Here you are on your phone. This thing has been here way longer than you. This phone has existed longer than you. Your PC has existed longer than you. Even if you are supposedly, what, 50 plus years old. These things have existed longer than you. And so, the powers that be, when it's time for the masses to experience progress in the society, boom, here's the new technology, guys. Go knock yourselves out with it. Ooh, here are the new shoes with the new grip tech. Go knock yourselves out with it. Ooh, here's a new court building method. Ooh, you're gonna get more hops on these fucking floors over here and all of that. That's how it goes. Huh? That's how it goes. Oh, here are the new football boots. Right, it's very clear in F1 the cars are always getting fault. The cars actually have to be fucking slowed down by the regulations because they're getting too fast for the circuits. Even the traditional circuits that are actually racetracks. I'm not just talking about street circuits or what have you. But yeah, they have to slow down the cars, right? If they allowed all the technology onto the cars, I don't know, we might be in F-Zero already, for all I fucking know, in the year 3000. Oh my days. But in the society, how is progress marked? How is evolution actually shown to the public? And I don't believe evolution is a real thing, right? People are going to at me about that. Doesn't really matter. But how is evolution actually shown to the public? Well, through the sports. Here you got your new batch of athletes. They're all going to surpass the previous batch of athletes. And the media will tell you when XYZ athlete is supposedly better than the previous generation. This is why they're doing the whole Maximilian Verstappen is the greatest of all time now. Funny enough, they didn't do that with Sir Lewis Hamilton. And Sir Lewis Hamilton got over organically as the GOAT. Right, he got over organically. Mind you, after Abu Dhabi 2021, right, I can't even... It's either Sir Lewis Hamilton is equal with Fangio or he surpassed him now. And that's a madness, right? Without Abu Dhabi 2021, really, I'd only be saying Sir Lewis Hamilton is equal with Fangio. But, well, Abu Dhabi 2021 happened. We got the reality that we got. So, I have to say Sir Lewis Hamilton is the GOAT. But the media never said that. It's just the people, the public, the masses that said that. Why is that? Because he passed the eye test. He passed the metrics, as it were. Why is LeBron not recognized as the greatest of all time by the NBA webosphere? Why is that a thing? Why is there consternation over there? Why is there division over there? Well, there's division over there because, quite frankly, MJ, Michael Jordan, he did something, three-peat, retire, three-peat, that simply can't be matched unless you do the thing or you get more rings, right? Or because this was the case with Jordan when he actually entered the league and they labeled him the GOAT immediately because he passed the eye test that much. Right now, people might say, "Oh, they're doing that with Maximilian Verstappen." Well, Jordan had to then set about proving that he was the greatest of all time with results on the court. This is something LeBron James hasn't done. Right? It's all good for the F1 to say Maximilian Verstappen is the GOAT, but he's not passing the eye test to all those who are informed out on circuit. And yes, he looks great behind the wheel. Right? This is not about Maximilian and his talent as a driver. This is about how we can't actually vet Maximilian's championships because, well, there's an illegal Red Bull in play. That's why this shit matters. Right? But it doesn't really matter to the apparatus whether you are on Team Verstappen, on Team Lewis Hamilton, on Team Michael Schumacher, on Team Fangio. It doesn't really matter. On Team Senna, it doesn't really matter. As long as all the mandem are divided, well, the mandem will be easier to conquer. But this is just a process and procedure of this here society. Alright? They need you to believe that progress is happening out here. So they will force an illusion of progress. Oh, here comes the new generation. They're better than the previous generation. That's what they'll do. That's what they do everywhere. They might have some issue in the football because this thing that Messi and Ronaldo have done is different. Is different. Right? But at the same time, I'm out here still wondering how anyone has actually surpassed Pele yet, but that's just me. That's just me, right? The society has already ticked over with its P and P over generations. And, well, people write off Pele this way and that way. Oh, there was no offside rule back then or what have you. Okay, do that. At the same time, the defenders could fucking drop kick Mandem and, just be a yellow card. But anyway. Anyway. Why am I making this video? Because I need y'all to know. I need y'all to know about this. I really need y'all to know about this. They do this everywhere, by the way. Don't think that it's just the sports. This can happen with your politicians. This can happen with your artists. This can happen with your comic book writers, right? Stan Lee, for instance. Stan Lee, he got denigrated towards the end, then he died. Alright, then he passed. They gotta simmer it down. They would have done this shit with Michael Schumacher had he not had the skiing accident. Alright, they would have done this whole soiree, this whole process and procedure of the society. They would have done it with Schumacher had there not been this extracurricular narrative about him. Mind you, heck, they might have had that whole shit happen on purpose, but anyway. Who's they? Well, the makers of the society. But anyway, they probably only made the decision because Sir Lewis Hamilton passed their eye test and he was really going to do a thing, and then they said, well, we can't be denigrating a white man in favor of the black man, so we're just going to have to get Michael Schumacher out the picture for a second. And so they've done that. Allegedly. Right? Allegedly. But anyway. I'm trying to break the people out of the matrix one video at a time. But, well, it's not like you gotta believe anything I'm saying, right? You do your own thing. You do your thing. You find your answers when you find your answers, and that is the way things will be. But yeah, the human animal? No. It's not evolving like that. That's where everyone got to slow right the fuck down. The human animal is not evolving like that. Evolution doesn't move that quickly. Yes, the women are prettier. Yes, the women are prettier. That's down to, what have you, better makeup. Everyone's getting to shower with high grade products relative to what existed in the past. Everyone's getting to bathe with high grade products, although most people use the damn shower. But everyone's getting to bathe with high grade products. Everyone's getting to partake in fitness and exercise regimes and what have you. Everyone has access to the gym. All right, that's all that really is. Oh man, but otherwise, there are other key metrics such as the IQ numbers going down generationally since, I suppose, what? IQ peaked, 1980s or whatever? Anyway, I would have to go refresh myself on all of that research. But yeah, the illusion of progress, the illusion of evolution, is why the society has to go through its processes and procedures. And this applies to anyone notable, any of your VIPs, as it were. Not VVIPs, or even triple VIPs, but just your VIPs, your Sir Lewis Hamilton, your Maximilian Verstappen, your Michael Schumacher, your Ayrton Senna, your Nigel Mansell, your Juan Manuel Fangio, all of these, right? The reason that they put out for Fangio not being the GOAT is the cars were just slower. It's not the same thing. It's a less physical sport and what have you. Okay. I mean, people can run that. I don't even know if them cars had power steering back in the day, but anyway. I've talked about Fangio and the piece of film that exists around him. Who was he racing? I think he was racing Brabham. I say racing, it was a demonstration drive, but them man really started racing. But anyway. Anyway, a very interesting video if you can find that. I believe it's Fangio in one of his 50s machines, one of those old Silver Arrows cars, Mercs, as it were. And he's doing a demonstration drive. Brabham is in one of his 70s. What do you call those cars? What shape is those cars? They're shaped like a cigarette or a matchbox, something like that. That generation of cars. Boy, it's some fascinating film, I'll tell you that. It's some fascinating film. Maybe I'll link it at the bottom of this video. Who knows? Anyway, rambling a bit at the end of this video, but I don't particularly mind. That should be the vid. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Peace.